Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and I'm back in a brand new test world in version 1.0.0, and you can see I've just cleared out a new area because I have a brand new mod to spotlight. This is a relatively new mod and I have not mentioned it or shown it before. This is Thaumcraft. Actually, it's not Thaumcraft. It's now called Arcanacraft. When I went to download this latest version of this mod to show you guys, I just noticed on the forum post that the author, Azanor, has posted that he's going to be changing the name to Arcanacraft. So Thaumcraft / Arcanacraft mod spotlight this is. So let's check it out, guys, shall we? It's actually pretty cool. It's a little different than most of the mods that I usually do. Usually I'm doing tech mods. This is actually almost the opposite. It's a magic-based mod. And it basically uses magical properties in the world to create items and machines and do all kinds of other nifty stuff. So without further ado, let's get started demoing Thaumcraft / Arcanacraft. Now, the very first item that you're probably going to want to build in this mod is called the Thic Crucible. The Thic Crucible is an item that creates Thaum for you, basically. And let's place it down in the world here. Ooh, pretty. And look, it has a neat little, symbol inside there. That's pretty nice looking. Now, everything about this mod is a little bit sneaky and tricky. The mod author, I think by design, is just kind of being a little cryptic about how things work, which is cool. But according to the forum post, the way this machine works is you simply place an item into it, and depending on how rare the item is, let's try cobblestone. Oh, cobblestone was not rare enough. It's kind of junky. Let's try glowstone. I'm going to just throw it in there with Q. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, there it goes. So what happens is, depending on the rarity of the item, it's broken down into Thaum. And Thaum is the basic currency of this mod. It's basically, what you use to do stuff. And the more stuff you throw in there, the more full it's going to get. So it's basically destroying your items and creating Thaum. Now, important thing to note here is that you don't want to overfill this crucible. And if you do, it'll start spilling out onto the ground. Let's see what happens, shall we? Uh-oh. Little overflowing going on here. Problems. Not a good thing. You'll start developing puddles of Thaum, and the consequences of doing this, according to the forum post, are either annoying or catastrophic, though occasionally something useful happens. What that means, I don't know. But here's a new monster that is actually added into the game. So what this little guy here does, he's called a Thaumic Slime. He's pretty harmless as long as there's some amount of Thaum nearby, and what he's doing right now is he's eating the Thaum in the crucible. He will spawn occasionally in areas, and as he eats the Thaum, he gets bigger. Look at that. And he'll get bigger and bigger and cause some problems for you. So that's one of the consequences of overfilling your Thaumic Crucible, and you'll also find these guys out in the wild, and they can be a nuisance, so be aware of them as a new mob. So that's the Thaumic Crucible, and that's how you create Thaum. Basically, you dump your items in there, and you convert them into Thaumic energy. Pretty nifty. I'm going to kill this guy now, because I don't want to let him get too much larger. And you'll note that he dropped an item here, Crystallized Thaum. I'll get into that in a bit. So we've created some Thaum. What can we do with it? Well, first off, we want to transport it out of that crucible, because we want to continue to build up our Thaum and not have it go to waste. So to do that, we need to take some glass panes, not glass, glass panes, and surround a piece of redstone. That'll give us a Thaumic conduit. Let's make a couple more of these guys. Well, a couple more sets, that is. You get 8 of them. These are basically pipes or tubes that will transport your Thaum for you. And if you take 4 of those guys and surround a gold ingot, you get a Thaumic node. This is storage for your Thaum. So let's make a couple more of those as well. And it's pretty simple and straightforward to use these guys. Just connect them to the side of one of these Thaumic crucibles, and you'll be able to place down your tubes here. And you'll see little symbols or little effects showing that the Thaum has the capability to flow through there. And if you place down your Thaumic node on the end of one, it'll quickly start filling up, and it'll drain out of the crucible. So let's place down 3 of these guys. Now you should also note that you can't place 2 Thaumic nodes next to each other. They don't like being in close proximity, but you can place them not right next to each other. So you can do something like this, and you'll have a nice little storage area for your Thaum. And you can see it's now being drained out of the crucible here. Pretty cool. So what can we do with Thaum? There's actually a few things we can do here. Let's start crafting one of the items that we can use with our Thaum. The first item I'm going to show you is the Thaumic Duplicator, and you can see I'm using one of those crystallized Thaums that I got from that slimy thing that I killed. You also need some obsidian and a piston here, and the Thaumic Duplicator is pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and run some cabling to this guy and hook him up, and open up the Thaumic Duplicator. Now let's say I wanted to create some gold. I'm going to place some gold in there, and it's going to drain Thaum out of that little storage unit, and the storage unit's going to be refilled by my Thaumic Crucible here. And what it's going to do is it's going to use that Thaum energy to duplicate the item that I've placed in the slot. Nifty. And if I place 2 gold in there, it's going to duplicate that. First off, you might want to know that this is not overpowered in any way. You're actually using a lot more Thaumic energy to create these items than you would typically get if you were to just drain them. If I were to throw this item in the Crucible, I'm getting a lot more energy than I would have gotten if I were to produce that gold. It actually takes 5 times as much Thaumic energy to create an item than you would typically get for it. So you can see I got back a lot of Thaum here. Let's throw a few more items in there just to make sure we have enough Thaum storage. So again, requires a lot more energy to produce an item than you would get by destroying it in the Thaumic Crucible. Next up, we've got a Thaumic Infuser, and that's using smooth stone, another ender pearl, and a piston. Let's throw this guy down on our line here and see if we can't figure out how to use him, shall we? And I'm going to connect him down here. Now, in order to use this machine, we're going to need some symbols and runes, and those are mostly created with gold. Placing 4 gold ingots in a circle like this, you get a blank symbol. And if you place 1 gold ingot in there, you get a golden nugget, and 4 golden nuggets create a blank rune. So let's create a couple runes here, and we'll create 1 more symbol. Now there's a whole bunch of different things you can do with symbols and runes. It's actually pretty complicated, but I'm going to go into some of them right now and show you how they work. So let's check out the first and most basic type of rune. You combine a blank symbol with a piece of stone, and you'll notice it's using Thaumic energy here. And now we've got a stone symbol rune. Let's go place it on the ground and see what happens. I'm just going to place it right here. Ooh, pretty special effects, huh? What does it do? Good question. I'm going to throw an item on the ground. Hey, wait a second. That was weird. Hey, what's going on here? Hey! The stone rune actually pushes items away from its current location. Pretty cool. I'm sorry, that's the stone symbol. Pushes items away from its current location. Now we can create a similar rune by using iron. And the iron symbol actually does the exact opposite of the stone symbol. It pulls items towards it. Let's check that out. So there is an iron symbol. And if we place this guy on the ground, and we start throwing items down, they'll get sucked into the rune. Pretty cool. I'm going to pick it up now. Now I mentioned that we had these blank runes. What do? Well, they modify, runes modify the properties of a symbol. Let's create an iron rune real quick. And again, we're using Thaum. Look, Thaum's being sucked out, and we actually didn't have enough. So let's go ahead and do something about that, shall we? I just threw some diamonds in there, because I'm sure that has a lot of Thaumic value. And now we've got an iron rune. We can take our iron rune and place it on top of a symbol to modify it. Let's see what the iron rune does to this symbol. Oh, the iron rune increases the range of an iron or stone block symbol. So again, if this were the iron guy, he'd be pulling items in, and by placing an iron rune on him, it would increase the range of which it pulls. Pretty cool. And because it's a stone, it's pushing items away, and it's going to push them further because the iron rune is modifying it. Now there's a lot of details about these runes. You can also include gold runes on top of these symbols, and that'll make it pull and push on the vertical axis as well as the horizontal. Let's check that out real quick, because that sounds cool. So I'm crafting myself a blank rune with a gold ingot, and it's draining Thaum to create a gold rune. And And I'm going to combine that with the stone symbol, because that sounds like a neat idea. So again, stone symbol pushes items away. Let's see what happens with gold. Ooh. Ha, neat. So again, gold symbol affects it to cause it to also work on the vertical axis. And if we were to apply a diamond rune, let's see what happens then. Just made a diamond rune here. I'm sure you can figure out how I managed to do that. And I'm just going to knock that gold rune off and place a diamond rune in the middle. And the diamond rune, I don't think it does anything on the stone symbol, but if we place an iron symbol down, let's do that real quick, and place a treasure chest next to it. And we drop some items on the ground. You can see they're just hanging out right there, not doing anything. If I place a diamond rune in the middle, it's going to cause any items that get sucked up to land in the chest. So that's what the diamond rune does, is it causes items that get sucked in to be placed in the chest next to it. Pretty neat. So that's the basic concept of runes and symbols. The symbol is the item that you place on the ground, and the rune modifies exactly how the symbol works. Let's check out another one, shall we? I'm now going to craft a blank symbol with a piece of gold. Let's see what we get from that. Hint, it'll be a gold symbol. So I've got my gold symbol here. Let's place it on the ground. Ooh, purty. What's this guy do? It sucks in enemies. Get a little bit closer there, Mr. Cow. Oh, look, he's getting sucked in. Wahahaha. Yep, that's right. And of course, if I applied an iron symbol, guess what it's going to do? It's going to increase the range. And a gold rune will cause it to push and pull on the vertical axis as well. Now that's the push, or that's the pull, I'm sorry. Let's break that thing. And let's craft ourselves the pull. That's done with a piece of lapis. So, blank symbol, lapis lazuli here, and we'll get a lapis rune symbol. And the lapis symbol is just kind of the opposite of the gold in that it pushes enemies away. Let's check that guy out now. Ta-da! Pretty spiffy. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that you can place these things nearby a node. And what that's going to do is it's going to increase the strength of them. So you notice it was pushing and pulling rather slowly. By placing it near one of these nodes, it's going to increase the speed at which they work, but it'll also draw power out of the node. And some of these symbols require power nearby, so you can't just place them on the ground wherever you want. Next up, let's check out the moss stone rune symbol. The mossy symbol will promote the growth of plants, crops, reeds, cactus, pretty much all your plants in your game. Now this one does require some thaumic energy to be nearby, so let's go ahead and run a line here. Now a rune that's going to go rather nicely in tandem with this is the dirt symbol. And the dirt symbol, what he's going to do is, actually an earth symbol, is automatically till grass nearby. So let's place him down, I don't know, like so. Now I've just placed down my mossy symbol here, and as you can see, it's draining a little bit of thaum, and it's helping to grow these plants, and they're growing rather well. And if I wanted to, I could place a gold rune in the middle here, and it would increase the speed at which it grows the plants. Pretty darn nifty. And it's just helping things grow and grow and grow. Do note that this requires thaumic energy to operate, but it works rather well, as you can see. It's quickly growing my plants. And it'll work on cactus and all these other, plants, pumpkins, watermelons, all that kind of cool stuff. Now another option that you have, instead of using a gold rune, you can use your diamond rune. And the diamond rune will automatically harvest for you once it's possible to do so. And the iron rune will increase the range of the properties of the symbol. Now you guys might have noticed that this earthen rune here isn't working, and the reason for that is because the runes affect a 7x7 area in the direction that the rune is facing. Right now the rune is facing upwards at the sky, so it's not really working. In order to get it to work, I need to go ahead and put it underground. Let's do that now. Or I can face it on the wall. So let's try putting this rune on a wall and facing it closer towards the ground. Ah, now it's properly tilling the earth. You could also throw this guy underground and have it facing upwards, and it would till it above. And again, it works in a 7x7 area. Let's check out some of the combat-oriented runes and symbols that we can build here. Let's try first making the frozen symbol. Huzzah! Let's check this guy out, shall we? Now you can place him on the ground and not near a node, and it'll work just fine, but if you do place it near a node, it'll slightly use up some of the stuff there, but it will greatly increase the range and the slowing effect that this has. And what slowing effect is that exactly? Let's get this pig over here, shall we? So I've got my frozen symbol on the ground here, and I'm going to spawn a zombie. Oops. There we go. Now you'll notice that the zombie is moving rather slowly as a result of being near this frozen rune. And because it's near that Thaumcraft thing, it's being amplified. And as it gets further away, he can move faster again. So the frozen rune there will basically slow enemies down. Let's try placing a gold rune in there and see what it does. The gold rune causes the enemies to be slowly lifted into the air, as well as slowed. Ha 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 ha. Brutal. There's actually a couple of runes you can place in this one. The frozen guy will accept an iron rune to double the area of effect, as usual. A redstone rune causes it to only target hostile mobs, while a lapis rune will cause it to only target animals. The gold rune causes it to slowly lift in the air like that, and the diamond rune allows it to affect more than one monster at a time. So a pretty neat rune to be sure. And in tandem with that, let's check out a similar rune. And by similar, I mean the exact opposite. The blaze rod symbol will cause enemies to take damage. It sends out a stream of fire at any living creature other than the player, and it must be within range of a node and requires Thaum to operate. And the amplifications for the blazing symbol are pretty similar to the ones that are for the freezing ones. Now this guy does require Thaum to work, so I'm going to make sure to place him right there. And let's spawn a zombie. And of course we're doing this in sunlight, but I want it to be viewable on YouTube rather well. And you can see it shooting fire out at that guy. And if you combine this with the freezing rune, it would probably be pretty cool. If we put the gold rune on there, it's going to do even more damage. But it's going to use more Thaum in the process. Look how quickly that guy died. Pretty neat. I should also note, by the way, guys, that you can place your symbols on walls. They don't have to be placed on the ground. So that's a majority of the symbols and runes that are available in Thaumcraft at the moment. One important note for these guys is that they do react to redstone current. Applying a redstone current to them turns them off, so you can disable them if you apply redstone. A pretty awesome function. And I'm not done. There's some more items to show you, so let's check them out. Next up is the Arcane tinkering tools, and we've also got the infusion mold. These are ingredients in a couple different items. So let's take our Arcane tinkering tools here, place them in our Thaumic infuser, and infuse a compass. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we get a Thaumic detector, and you can see it took a little bit of damage on the tinkering tools. What's a Thaumic detector do? Good question, let's check it out. So I'm just going to place this guy on my hotbar and walk around a little bit. And don't worry, I kind of have an idea of where I'm going here. Kind of. Pay attention now. What is this thing hanging out right here? Oh, hey, what's going on? My little thingy's blinking. That's right, I mentioned that this mod modifies the world a little bit. This is an ancient obelisk. These are pretty rare in the world, but it typically indicates that there's some high thaumic radiation in the area. They've got some interesting effects if incorporated into your thaumic processing operation, but they're pretty dangerous to move, so you want to build your operation around them. And why would you want to know that there's thaum in the area? Well, why don't I show you? Because of one of the machines I haven't shown you yet. Stone, crystallized thaum, blank symbol, gets you a thaumic condenser, and the thaumic condenser is basically going to draw thaum directly out of the air. It can suck background thaum out, and it just, collects thaum out of nothing, basically, but it doesn't work just anywhere. You need to find areas where this guy, the thaumic detector, is blinking. So if I place this guy in the ground, let's say right here, he's going to be able to draw thaum out of the air. And in order to utilize that thaum, we're going to need some of those tubes and nodes. Let's place a tube down and a node. And it's pretty slow in terms of how much thaum it produces out of nothing. It's really, really slow. But you will, rest assured, slowly start to build up a bit of thaum. And after about 30 seconds or so, I just got a small amount of thaum hanging out in there. So that's the thaumic condenser and the way it works. So basically you want to keep your eye out for these obelisks, or build one of these thaumic detectors here to go ahead and find your thaum areas. Just be aware that in areas of high thaum radiation, you're going to run into some weird looking animals and some enemies, and those little slime guys might be naturally occurring, so be careful. Another neat function here is to take an infusion mold with a piece of coal, and you get glimmering alumentium. And you can keep infusing it. And what this stuff does, glowing alumentium, growing and growing in power, incandescent alumentium, that looks to be the highest tier there is. This guy can be burned in a furnace and basically burns a lot longer than coal. Now you can also take your infusion mold and throw glowstone in there, and that's going to infuse with glimmering nitor. I wonder what's next. Glowing nitor, perhaps? And maybe we'll get incandescent nitor next. There it is. And that's the highest level. And that is a pretty neat substance because, interestingly, if you throw this incandescent nitor into a crucible, it'll drain more thaum out of this item than it used to create it. And what can you do with incandescent nitor and alumentium if you combine them in a thaumic infuser? Unstable thaumic singularity. That sounds pretty dangerous. I don't know, guys. You think we should be playing with something called unstable thaumic? Oh man, that sounds bad. What happens if I throw it right here? Whoa, I'm not touching my mouse or keyboard. I'm getting sucked in here. That's right, it creates a little singularity or black hole. How cool is that? I feel that was cool enough that I want to make another one and see it again. What do you guys think? By the way, there's a note here. You can stabilize the singularity with an infusion mold. I wonder what that means. Well, if you put this guy up here, infusion mold here... Oh, it is processing something, isn't it? Stabilize thaumic singularity. Oh wait, there's a note. What's it say? Not only did it destroy that mold, but it made the singularity more dangerous. That doesn't sound good. Maybe I shouldn't use this, guys. What do you think? Nah, of course I'm going to use it. I can't resist. How about we go up here and throw it on the ground? Let's throw it off this cliff. Whoa. That is cool. And hey, how neat is that? It created a little bit of crystallized thaum for me. Yeah. So next up, I'm going to make some fabric. It's done like so. Ta-da, fabric. And you place that inside your thaumic infuser with arcane tinkering tools. Remember those guys? And you're going to get a neat little item called enchanted fabric. Let's get all 4 of them, shall we? So I made 4 of those enchanted fabrics, and I made myself another one of these stabilized thaumic singularities, and I've got the portable hole. Let's check this guy out. He sounds cool. So I just created a little system here to demo what the portable hole does and how it works. It looks pretty nifty, if I do say so myself. Let's say we wanted to drop through this stuff here. We just take our portable hole, right-click on the ground, and and it created a hole for us. Pretty neat. And a few seconds later, it automatically seals. And I could just drop right through, and it'll reseal it again in a second. Pretty cool. Of course, you can't just go all the way down to the ground. I don't know exactly what the range on this guy is, but I'm sure it's decent. It's a neat little... So I think this is a good wrapping up point for Thaumcraft / Arcanacraft. I'm going to link the forum thread in the description of this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed checking it out. This is Direwolf20 signing off, and I'll be sure to do another one as this mod updates, because this mod has already had a few new items added to it since it came out a very short while ago. The developer is very dedicated to this mod, and it looks like he's adding things pretty regularly. So keep an eye on that thread, because new versions are sure to be coming. So this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed checking out Thaumcraft / Arcanacraft. I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy.